Hey guys, and welcome back to the Wild Darkness. One of the biggest challenges while playing any survival game, especially the Wild Darkness, is starvation. As I keep emphasizing, food is super important, especially in the early game of the Wild Darkness, because it not only serves to satisfy your hunger but also heal you. Now, there are three ways in the Wild Darkness in which you can combat starvation. The first is by foraging for food. So you progress the story and enter new areas, and hopefully you will find food or vegetations just lying around, or maybe a dungeon room filled with food. The second way is by cooking your food to increase the hunger provided per item consumed. And the last way is to garden or to farm. Now, gardening in the Wild Darkness has changed a lot in the recent updates, but the basic steps are still the same. So you will first unlock the garden blueprint after you repair the ruins of Light 2. To craft it, you will need some branches and some charcoal. There are a couple of ways to get charcoal. The simplest way is to build a kiln and then just craft your own charcoal. I'm gonna go ahead and do just that. But in case for some reason you don't have a kiln or you can't craft it, there are other ways to get charcoal. You can wait for a lightning strike to strike down a tree, or you can artificially burn a tree. Alright, did we get that? No? Now, to artificially burn a tree, you first need to drop some logs on the ground, drop it to the surrounding trees to so that you can also spread the fire, and then craft the torch, and then throw the torch on the log so the log starts burning. Hopefully, the tree will also catch on fire and it will burn together with the log. Okay, it did not work this time. Let's try that again. Throw that, burn the log, drop another log. Okay, it's spreading, the fire is spreading, yes. As you can see, the tree has started to burn. It will eventually turn into a burnt tree, and you can cut the burnt tree down for charcoal. Now, once you have all the materials required to craft a garden, you simply have to place it down. So I'm gonna go ahead and craft the gardens. And then that's pretty much it. So to start growing your own food after you've crafted or built your garden, you will need a shovel to dig the ground, fertilizer, and a magic seed to plant. So all you have to do is stand over the garden, and then if you have both the magic seed and the fertilizer, you can go ahead and plant the seed. Now, to get the fertilizer, you can either use manure or contaminated pile. For manure, you simply poop inside your bathroom that you can craft for a few branches and some leather. And for contaminated piles, you will need to fish for them with your fishing rod. So the contaminated piles are the little poop balls that you see. It's important to note that every time you fish, you will consume one worm. While it may not seem cost efficient since you can just poop and then plant something and use the worm to catch fish, which you can eat, the things that you grow will generally provide more food than a fish, because the big fish provides the same amount of hunger that a small piece of meat provides, and the small fishes provide even less hunger, while some of the plants provide a lot of hunger, especially pumpkins. Now, it's important you want to craft amount of fertilizer to store your um, manure and contaminated piles, because otherwise they will degenerate extremely quickly and disappear from your inventory after just a couple of days. Another use of the mound of fertilizer is to create contaminated piles out of your manure. So for every manure, you can craft 2 contaminated piles. It takes forever though, about 4,000 turns. So yeah, you So it'll take a while. But that's all the basic steps you need to know when gardening in the wild darkness. As soon as you get your garden up and running, I recommend starting with 2 gardens, then slowly building up to 4 to give yourself a stable source of food and then some extra. And once you're able to completely manage all 4 gardens, plus farming and foraging for food, you should have almost no worries when it comes to starvation. Anyway, that's all the basic steps for gardening in the wild darkness, and till next time.